Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is SoFlo Josh and we're here at Audi Miami South to film this 2025 Audi Q6 E-Tron Quattro for y'all. With that being said, I want to give a huge shout out to Florin that works here. He is a general manager. Make sure to go ahead and use promo code Let's Go Florin and he'll be able to assist you. So since this is an electric vehicle, we actually don't find an internal combustion engine underneath the hood, and this is a dedicated platform. This is the PPE. We do find a frunk up here in the front, which some of its competitors actually don't even offer a frunk or even a large amount of frunk to put stuff. And this is really deep. I mean, literally you could see exactly where my arm will go ahead and touch the bottom of that bin style, but really nice. And you can even actually take this divider out and fit larger stuff in this frunk area. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the overall specs. So this vehicle is the Quattro variant. So that means it's gonna have all-wheel drive, front electric motor, rear electric motor to be a combined 456 horsepower and 427 pound-feet of torque. This one does have the new PPE, like I mentioned, with the 800-volt architecture, and that's actually going to be really good because guess what? With the DC fast charging from 10% to 80%, it'll take about 21 minutes, which is fantastic. But let's talk about the overall styling of this model. So up at the front, we get new headlight units. So they are divided now. We have the DRLs up at the top, and then we have your main projector lights down below. They're full LED as well as an LED cornering lamp right there. But the styling looks really good. And the cool thing about these headlights is that you can actually change the design of it when you get into the infotainment about exterior lighting. Now, when it comes to the front end design or the exterior, the best thing about Audi is that unlike other EV brands that have been, or I should say car makers that have been established for years, they don't typically, try to carry over the internal combustion design philosophy into the electric portion. And I understand why some people do that, or some car companies do that, but the great thing about Audi is that they went ahead and continued with the design philosophy they've been known for, especially in this new era of Audi. Now, as you see, we do have the new front grille design or faux grille design. So we're gonna have that same exact design element that we see on the new Audis that are currently coming out. We get a new badging right here that actually lights up at night, and we even get a 360 degrees camera up in the front with a nozzle to go ahead and clean it. That's a really good thing, especially if you're living up in the north when it snows and there is a lot of snow that gets kicked up from other cars. Guess what? It's going to be covered up whenever it comes to parking. But you got your E-Tron badging right there to let you know you do have an electric vehicle. And then down below, you do have your whole entire sensor for your radar, cruise control, forward mitigation, lane departure, and so on and so forth, which is a really nice thing. And then we do have active shutters right behind that, which is going to be great. You might be wondering, why they're going to have that. Well, there needs to be some kind of cooling for the electric motors, and that's the only way they could do it. Add airflow into that bottom section. But let's go ahead and continue talking about the overall side part. So right over here, we have the new 19-inch wheel designs. So they're smaller and they have a lot more sidewall when it comes to these tires. Now, I always typically say get the smaller wheel design, and the reason why is that it's gonna help with overall ride comfortability, but also it's gonna help with range. The smaller the wheel, the better it is when it comes to like the rotational mass. The larger the wheel, there's gonna be too much airflow going into the wheel. Now you do have some large brake calipers right there. They do have the regenerative braking, which is another added touch I like to see. So when it comes to the side profile, you have a really nice sculpted design. I really like the way that Audi has kind of pinched it in a way that it's kind of, just angular. It's very aggressive in its overall design, and it even tapers underneath where the mirror cap is at. So you're gonna get full LED mirror lighting right here, which is a great thing. Your 360 degrees camera is gonna be there. And you're also gonna have your blind spot detection as well. On the overall side profile, it looks really good. That nice traditional regular SUV design. I think they're gonna start offering maybe a sportback design later on in the future. But for right now, it's a 3-box design, which is actually very helpful and practical. We'll talk about that when we get into the overall trunk. But as you see, we do have a gloss black design underneath here. Kind of the overall design look really good because you have that gloss black, then you have the paint match, and then you also have this gloss black section right here around the trim for your window area. But you have your Audi badging right there, Q6 E-Tron Quattro, so it lets you know exactly what kind of model you have. But as you see, really nice angular design. I like this, even this portion right here where the design from the front tapers off, it kind of disappears, and then it comes back up, almost like a dragon from House of Dragons. But anyways, the overall design looks really good. Now, if we go ahead and unlock the vehicle really quick, by the way, this is a new key fob that you'll be starting to see in other Audi products. If you press this button right here, it will have an electronic charging port opener. So you can option this in. It doesn't mean that it's standard, but you can option it in. Now, once you open this little flap right here, you do have your DC, but this is your AC right here. So that means if you do want to go ahead and maybe charge at home, you could do that. But on the opposite side, there is another charging port, which is going to be very helpful because when you open it up, you can easily just go into your garage or maybe, you know, your neighborhood charging area, and you'll just have an AC right there. So it's easier to charge at home rather than opening up the other side one. But when we get into the rear, overall design, we have full LED design. We do get your sequential turn signals right here that are finished in amber, which is a really nice thing because other brands like to do it in red, especially BMW. I don't really like the red. It kind of hurts the eyes. The amber is really nice, and it lets you know that, you know, you do have your turn signals on. This one does have the customizable rear DRL lighting design, which is very nice as well. And you got your rear lights right here, so that whenever you put it into reverse, that will go ahead and kick on. But let's go ahead and open up the trunk. And as you see, we do have a power lift gate here. Once you open up the tonneau cover, you'll be able to go ahead and fold that. Now, with the seats up, it's around 30.2 cubic feet of overall trunk space. But once you go ahead and release these levers right here, they will fold down and give you a total of 60.4 cubic feet of space, which is really nice that Audi went ahead and did that. It's actually one of the best things to have when it comes to loading things in. Maybe you have a large 70-inch TV, will easily fit into the back of your Q6. But overall, the rear cargo area is really nice. You get some hooks over here off to the side that you can put some, you know, maybe your milk or anything else like that. And then down below here, you do have your subwoofer and some more added space down below. All right, so getting into the rear compartment area, you can go ahead and open up the door like a traditional door handle. You also can unlock and lock from the exterior instead of having going to the front door handle, which a lot of the competition does. Now let's talk about the overall door card. Soft injection molding at the top. We got your Bang & Olufsen speaker grill right here for your tweeter. You got your door unlock as well as your lock and unlock right there. Nice, really texture design for the rear. I actually like the overall design that we have here where it's kind of angular, more like what we see with this overall side profile design. And then you do have a grab handle here with your window switchgear, and then more space underneath here to put maybe a large bottle of water or some snacks. Bang & Olufsen speaker system right there. And then these are the seats that are in this model. So they are really nice, feels really good to the touch. They have some perforation, so it's more breathable, especially since this is the black interior color that we have for this model. But it's really nice. You got some nice yellow, white stitching all across on the top and on the middle section. And then getting into the rear seat area, once we close the door, sounds very solid when it comes to closing. This is exactly where I would be sitting whenever it comes to driving. So I have probably about 2.5 to 3 inches of overall space, which is really nice. You have some air vents at the rear, which is also good that they didn't do a non-functional vent where you can't actually change the direction of it. You got heated outboard seats as well as your tri-zone climate and a large panoramic sunroof. So unlike other competitors, maybe like for example the iX has it where it's fixed and it has an opaque thing where it kind of frosts itself. This one is different. You actually have a tinted overall top part of the glass, and then you can open up the front section, which is really nice. But these seats feel very good sitting up at 5'10". I have a lot of space left, about, I would say, 1.5 to 2 inches of overall head space, which is really nice for rear occupants who are tall. But really nice back interior space back here. I actually really like that. The low section right here actually has a little bit of a hump, so it's not flat, even though this is the, you know, a dedicated electric, you know, platform. But let's go ahead and get into the front space. So opening up the door, as you see, same exact materials that we saw up at the back. We actually see it up here in the front with the same white stitching across, that same angular design where it kind of goes downward instead of upward or straight, which is, I love that. You got your Bang & Olufsen tweeter bill right here with some ambient lighting that goes across. We'll actually talk about that when we get into the interior. Now, this is all new for all the new Audis that are coming out. So it will have all these switch gears. So you got your unlock, you got your fog lamps at the front. We also got the interior lighting, exterior lighting embedded into the section, but you do have your high beam assist still on the column, which is nice. You even got your folding mirrors for the side as well, your presets, and then your child lock right here, window switch gear, your trunk release, and then you have more storage space down below with another speaker grill and another speaker grill. So there's a total of 21 speakers in here, and even into the actual headrest section, which is a really cool thing that Audi went ahead and did that. These are power operated seats. We do have 4-way lumbar control, and we even got a thigh extension that is finished in a manual style. But getting into the interior, let's go ahead and start this. Now, the best thing about this car is that you can easily just sit inside the seat and press your foot on the brake and it will automatically start. Now, the interesting thing is that in order to actually turn the wheel, you actually have to put it into drive in order to, you know, change it. But let's go ahead and put it into park really quick. Now, interior wise, this is the new steering wheel, like I said, that we're going to be seeing in a lot of new Audi products. So we got that flat Audi logo finished in a nice, it actually has a little bit of a texture design to it, almost like aluminum like. We got your little haptic feedbacks to go ahead and control your new 11.9 inch digital gauge cluster, and then we also get a new 14.9 inch digital touchscreen display. You can get an optional 10.9 inch passenger screen, but this one actually doesn't come with it. You actually have to option that in. But overall, interior space really nice. You got a large heads-up display which can be extremely customizable and has a ton of, you know, colorization to it, which is an added bonus as well. But overall interior looks great. You got your paddle shifters back here for your regen braking, your turn signal stock, as well as your rear. Actually, your turn signal stock is over here, and then this is for your front windshield as well as the rear windshield. Your cruise control button is going to be right over here off to the bottom section. Audi has always done that. You do have a heated steering wheel right here, and then you have your control for your new MMI system. So right in the middle, we have a new 11.9 inch digital gauge cluster and a new 14.5 inch touchscreen display. Now, this whole entire unit uses a new Google embedded system, or I should say maybe like Android embedded system. It will have the, you know, the maps that you can go ahead and expand here. It does come with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But the cool thing is that with this model, it even has the availability to add apps. So you can add YouTube in here. Right now, since this vehicle is just in the dealership mode, hasn't been delivered yet, you can add a YouTube part into this whole entire screen and watch YouTube whenever you are charging. Now, you can get a 10.9 inch screen right here, so then the passenger can go ahead and use that one. Will be able to use the YouTube or even play games on that section. Now, we do have the climate control that's embedded into the screen now, which is to be expected. A lot of car companies do this as well. We also have heated and ventilated seats, so you can have them on at the same time, just like any other German vehicle does. We got your whole entire climate control right here, auto, AC, dual zone climate control, so that means the passenger can control their own style. And then we even have an area to go ahead and check out what your charging rate is at right now. So it tells you your overall battery temperature and then it tells you what you have for, you know, your percentage of overall range. But really nice departure times, fast charging, whatever is around you, and your charging locations on where you can actually charge, and it'll tell you even if those charging sites are available. Now, across the dash is this new ambient lighting. So whenever you turn your turn signal on, as you can see, there is a blue light, a green light actually, that comes off to the side and lets you know that you have your turn signal off to the left. And it even has it here. This is actually going to be very useful because sometimes people who are driving and they'll have the music blaring, they have their turn signal on and they don't realize it. So when you're looking forward and you see that light coming off to the side, you'll know, oh, I have my turn signal on. Maybe I should turn that off to let the people at the back know that I'm not making a left or making a right. So really nice that Audi went ahead and did that. But overall, you could change the ambient lighting. So you'll have different ambient lightings there. You even have ambient lighting underneath here as well. But the overall interior is just so much better. I love this design approach where it has this screen that kind of goes towards the driver rather than the passenger. A lot of car companies, they do that, but they don't do it the way that Audi has done here with these winglets off to the side. I think it looks really good and sophisticated and very sporty, which is what Audi is. Now you can see right here, it has your drive modes, so you will be able to see the balance, dynamic, comfort, efficiency, and then you have your off-road plus. So this does come with the active air suspension, so that means that it will heighten and lower depending on how you're driving, as well as what kind of drive mode you're in. So whenever you're in the dynamic mode, it'll sit lower, so it's a lot better when it comes to driving. And then across the dash, you can see right here, you do have the wood trim that goes across, and then over here off to the left. Now, depending on which one you get, you can actually have a different. You can get one that has like a darker wood. This one has like more open pored wood, but looks fantastic. You even get a large heads-up display right down the middle, and it's actually very bright and has a ton of colorization to it as well. 2 USB Type-Cs. You even get a 12-volt outlet right there off to the right. You even have a charging section right here for wireless charging. Your whole entire exact area to go ahead and lower and higher the entertainment center. You got your emergency lighting right there, your switchgear for your drive, reverse, neutral, and B mode. The B mode is actually going to help when it comes to overall like battery for better regen. And then you have your park button right there. Full 360 degrees camera, as you see right there. You can go ahead and actually increase it in overall size if you want to, or you can have it more or less just like this. 2 nice large cup holders right here, and then right here you do have a center bin section, damped and lined with felt, glove compartment. And honestly, this is a really great interior space. Full LED lighting as well, as you see right there. It is a touch capacitive kind of design. We even get a auto dimming mirror right here, and like I said, panoramic sunroof. It opens up, large panoramic sunroof, actually very, very wide panoramic sunroof, and it even goes really, really far. Actually, that's probably, I don't even need to click it twice to go ahead and click back. That is very impressive. Great job, Audi. I really like that they went ahead and not even do like a fixed glass. They went ahead and said, you know what, let's do something different. Let's cater towards our customers and what they desire. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take this puppy out for a drive. All right, so let's go ahead and put it into drive and take it out to South Dixie. Now, like I said, this is the Q6 E-Tron Quattro system. So we're gonna have a dual electric motor, one at the front, one at the rear. Total output is gonna be 456 horsepower and 427 pound-feet of torque. And so it does have that 800 volt architecture like I was mentioning. The battery capacity is 100 kilowatts. Now that capacity is around 94 realistically. They always have it where it's 100, but there is like kind of like a little bit of a buffer zone. But let's talk about the overall driving dynamics. So setting off, driving comfortably, we have it in normal mode right now. It feels really good, actually very quiet overall interior. You can hear a little bit of that augmented electric portion that typically is expected in an electric vehicle, but once you give it some gas, very straightforward, good amount of power delivery. And when we go ahead and go into the right lane, give it some more gas. As you see, you know, it's very easy to get up to speed with this vehicle. I mean, most electric vehicles are. I really like these digital like gauges right here down the middle, and then this large touchscreen display, because they give you a ton of information. Like, you have your range down there, how much miles of range you have, 25% overall battery, and it's just great. I really like it. You even have your tachometer and speedometer there. You could see down in the middle that it has the vehicle and cars that are around you. So it does have that kind of LiDAR detection-esque design where it kind of mimics what you would see on other cars. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but in the heads-up display, when you're crossing over the line, it actually showed a red line to let you know that you are crossing over the line, and it actually fit perfectly in those white lines. We're gonna go ahead and drop it into the dynamic mode, and we're gonna take it down this road really quick. Oof. Oh my God, it pushes you back into your seat. Oh, that feels really good. The dynamic of this vehicle, man, it feels just like an Audi. Even look at that. That is so cool. I don't know if you picked that up on the heads-up display. Oh, wow. That is some cool tech right there. When you get closer to a new speed limit area, it will have, like, you know, the actual speed limit pull forward. Look, it's doing it right now. I don't know if you guys can notice it, but it's actually doing it. It's pulling forward because it notices that a crossover there is 30 miles per hour. That is the sickest thing I have ever seen in a car, ever. Oh, this is sick. Wow. I'm a huge person about like tech and everything like that, and seeing such a thing being implemented into a car is just fantastic. Hats off to the overall UI design team for Audi. But let's get back to the overall driving dynamics of this vehicle. Like I said, fantastic ride. I mean, the suspension feels really good since this does come with the air suspension. Right now we have it in the dynamics mode, so it's sitting lower than what it would be like if you were driving in balance mode or even the comfort mode. So that's a really nice little detail to notice right there. Let's go ahead and go onto this road and let's see how this car feels. Audi Quattro systems are just something else. I mean, they're the best, and even in the electric portion, they're still one of the best. I mean, it grips, you know, it kind of tucks down at the rear, and you could feel the front actually lifting up. Even though this is the electric variant of you know, Audi's Quattro system, it still does that tuck from the rear and it pushes upward, almost like if you're, you know, taking off, which is amazing. Honestly, this is just a great, you know, electric SUV. It's actually, I'm gonna say it right here, it's my favorite electric SUV to be offered right now. This just looks so great. It has the right proportions. It has the right amount of tech. I mean, heck, the fact that you can get YouTube in here and play it when you're sitting in like a car park and getting charged is awesome. 307 miles of overall electric range is really useful, especially if you're driving on like roadways like this where there's, you know, a lot of traffic that goes on. But, you know, hats off to Audi. Hats off to Audi, because I have never felt so like, I never had so much fun in an electric vehicle like this. And even the tech, I mean, like I mentioned, I'm a huge tech guy, and seeing these little implementations of, you know, where the heads-up display kind of pushes back whenever you're flooring it, like make it seem like you're going, you're like, beam me up, Scotty. You're kind of like in Star Trek, you know, or even Star Wars. This is something you need to experience. This is a phenomenal car, and it just feels a lot comfortable. Now, the Q6 in, you know, category of where it sits competes mostly with, you know, like the Tesla Model Y. It also competes, you know, as well with the BMW iX. And I will say this feels a lot better when it comes to overall driving dynamics. Like, you know, you press your foot on the gas and it's just instant amount of torque. It feels good and it doesn't feel claustrophobic like, you know, a Tesla Model Y. The Tesla Model Y is just too close, you know, it doesn't feel like an actual car. This feels like a car, you know, it feels like a true car. And honestly, this is fantastic. If you ever get a chance to actually drive one of these, please do. I mean, it's just really good. The overall driving dynamics is something that sticks true to what Audi is. Audi has been known for having a sporty overall driving dynamic, you know, that Quattro system like I mentioned, and that's what this vehicle has to offer. And it offers a ton of other stuff as well. We're gonna give it one more push. Holy crap, man. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are interested in purchasing this Audi or any other Audi, make sure to go ahead and contact Audi Miami South and ask for Florin. Make sure to go ahead and use the promo code Let's Go Florin, and I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Peace.